Let's dive right into the lines here and then see if we can use them to come up with what we would say is a transition. In 1933, the 20th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution was ratified. The amendment mandates that presidential inaugurations be held on January 20th, approximately 10 weeks after the November election. This amendment requires newly elected U.S. senators and representatives to be sworn into their respective offices on January 3rd. So, okay, it's talking about two dates. They're different dates, though, right? The 20th and the 3rd. Maybe there's a contrast there. I don't really know. It kind of just seems like a separate fact, right? So, I don't know, like fact 1, fact 2. Let's see what the choices give us. Well, instead is a contrast, so maybe, but honestly, I think it would make more sense if we were contrasting like what the 20th Amendment did versus what was there before, right? If we said like, the amendment makes it so that's January 20th, instead of I think it was a date in March that it used to be before the amendment, right? Like if it was kind of contrasting a similar like fact in kind of a before and after way, then maybe that would be right. I don't know. This just seems weird to me in this case. It's definitely a contrast word though, so it just feels like a not a good fit. Now, for instance, and specifically don't really work because, as we said, these are two separate points, right? They're two kind of things that the amendment does. They're not examples of each other. Plus, just kind of as from a strategy standpoint, both of these are kind of like example words, right? For instance, for example, specifically, here's a specific example. So it's not good that they both mean the same thing, because if they do, then how would we know which one is right and which one is wrong? That's kind of like just not really how the SAT works. So especially on the old test, we were able to do this, but even on the new one, we see sometimes that there are two words that fit the same category. We know that both of them are wrong because they can't both be right. That leaves D, in addition, which is normally a word I wouldn't pick because it doesn't have much meaning at all. It just kind of means and or also. But if everything else is bad, then a word like this is fine. Basically, this is a transition that doesn't transition at all. It's just a way of kind of saying, moving on to my next point. And that's what we have here, right? We have 2 points that are being made about the 20th Amendment. They're different points. They're not really related to each other than they're both things that the 20th Amendment does. So in addition is actually fine. It's just kind of letting us list these ideas. Those kinds of answers won't jump out as being right, but here we confidently eliminated everything else, so don't be afraid to pick it.